Georgia O'Connor. Georgia O'Connor dies at 25. Georgia O'Connor made one last wish come true before her death. The death of the 25-year-old British professional boxer was announced on Thursday, May 22nd, by her promoter, Boxer, in a statement obtained by The Guardian. O'Connor revealed in January that she had been diagnosed with cancer. In February, she said she suffered a miscarriage. Just 2 weeks before her death, O'Connor tied the knot with her longtime boyfriend Adriano Cardinale, the 5th of September 2025. "The day I married the love of my life. White heart," O'Connor wrote alongside an image of her husband's hand over her own. Her photo showed the couple both wearing their wedding rings as she held a bouquet of white roses and baby's breath. It was the last post she shared, uploaded on May 12th. Before her wedding announcement, O'Connor last shared an Instagram photo of herself with Cardinale for his birthday in February, where she referred to him as "my Italian prince. I never in my life thought I would find someone like you. Someone with such a pure heart and soul, someone who makes me feel loved every day. Someone who would do absolutely anything for me. Someone as weird as me," she wrote. Her words captioned a single photo of the couple sitting in a restaurant booth together, both smiling at the camera as they posed with drinks in front of them. "You are not just my boyfriend, but my truest and closest friend," O'Connor continued. She also mentioned that the longtime loves have been through so much together, things that no couple should go through, but we always get through because nothing can ever break us. "I couldn't imagine life without you, and I adore you from the deepest parts of my heart," she wrote, later concluding. Mark Jones. Mark Jones died at 59. Former Wales number 8 Mark Jones has passed away at the age of 59 after suffering a heart attack in the Middle East. Wales Rugby League said Jones had been training in his local gym. The former dual-code international played 15 times for Wales Rugby Union team, while he also featured 11 times for Wales Rugby League team, also winning 1 cap for Great Britain in the 13A side. During his career, he was sent off 6 times and banned for over 33 weeks for violent conduct. Jones also dealt with a stammer, which he admitted after retiring led to him being filled with self-loathing and hate, resulting in doing, as he put it, a lot of bad things on the field. Jones previously spoke to Wales Online about how his stammer affected his career, including the incident that led to Wales fitness coach Steve Black organizing counseling for him. You can read the full interview here. During his time at Neath, he became a vital part of the all-conquering side of the late 1980s. That led to his Wales call-up, with Jones scoring a try on his debut against Scotland in 1987. In 1991, Jones, who hailed from Tredegar, joined the exodus of Welsh players out of the amateur rugby union scene to the professional 13-a-side game where he played as a prop. Clive Griffiths, who coached Mark for a number of years with Wales Rugby League side, said, "Scooby was a giant in both codes, and the fact that he went on to play for Great Britain as well speaks volumes for his ability as a player. He was part and parcel of that great era of Welsh Rugby League until rugby union went back professional in 1995. From 1991 to 95, he was an ever-present in the Welsh squad. Everybody loved him as a man first and foremost." Daniel Williams. New details emerge over devastating plane crash that claimed life of famous drummer Daniel Williams. Further details surrounding the devastating plane crash which killed drummer Daniel Williams and 5 others have emerged. The musician, who is a former member of the Ohio-based metal band The Devil Wears Prada, is among those who perished in the tragedy which took place in the early hours of Thursday, the 22nd of May, morning. He had been on board a Cessna 550 owned by talent agent Dave Shapiro, 42, while traveling from New Jersey when horror struck in the skies as he made his way to San Diego. According to flight tracking data, the small privately owned plane took off from Teterboro Airport on Wednesday, the 21st of May, evening at 11:15 p.m. It is understood that the aircraft stopped for fuel in Wichita, Kansas, before it then continued its journey to the Californian city, although it never reached the Montgomery Gibbs Executive Airport as planned. Just hours after Williams, 39, had shared a tongue-in-cheek post from the cockpit, the plane came crashing down in a neighborhood in San Diego, careering into several homes shortly before 4 a.m. The drummer, Shapiro, and 2 Sound Talent Group employees, which is a music agency Shapiro co-founded in 2018, were reportedly killed in the fireball which ensued. A spokesperson for the company said, "We are devastated by the loss of our co-founder, colleagues, and friends. Our hearts go out to their families and to everyone impacted by today's tragedy. Thank you so much for respecting their privacy at this time." Williams' former The Devil Wears Prada bandmates also paid tribute to the talented artist and Shapiro in a social media post, saying, "No words, we owe you everything." Tommy Raymond. Tommy Raymond dead at 73. Legendary Hampton Roads coach Tommy Raymond died at age 73 on Thursday, May 22nd. Raymond coached at 6 high schools for 35 seasons in the area, most recently at Denby High, where he resigned in December after 2 seasons. He suffered a stroke in March 2025. His most successful coaching stint was at Lansdowne High School in Virginia Beach, where he won the D6 Eastern Regional Playoff Final while leading the Eagles to a 12-1 record. Raymond coached former NFL quarterbacks Michael Vick, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Aaron Brooks, Green Bay, New Orleans, Oakland, and several others who had successful collegiate careers. The Newport News native was selected out of Missouri as the 223rd overall draft pick in the 9th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1974 NFL Draft. Instead of entering the NFL, he chose to play in the WFL for the Florida Blazers, where they won the championship, and he was on the All-WFL team and won the 1974 Tri-MVP. He left the Blazers to play for the Jacksonville Express in 1975. Raymond eventually played a season for the Kansas City Chiefs in 1976, and in the CFL with the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 1977. He also encouraged Michael Vick to accept the opportunity to be the head coach of the Norfolk State Spartans football team. Coach Vick and Norfolk State released a statement on the passing of Coach Raymond. The Norfolk State University Athletic Department is saddened to hear of the passing of local legend Tommy Raymond. Coach Raymond was a one-of-a-kind figure who impacted countless members of the Hampton Roads community, including our head football coach Michael Vick. He will be deeply missed. A little-known fact is that Raymond was bit by the acting bug, with roles in Nick Nolte's North Dallas 40. Dan Storper. Dan Storper dies at 74. Dan Storper, the co-founder and CEO of Putumayo World Music, died on Thursday, May 22nd, at 74, just 2 days after his birthday. Sources confirm that he passed peacefully at home in New Orleans, surrounded by family, after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Jacob Edgar, founder of the label Kumbancha and Storper's longtime friend and colleague, shared a heartfelt statement with Billboard Espanol. "Just 3 days ago, I posted birthday wishes to Dan Storper, the founder of Putumayo World Music and my colleague and friend for nearly 30 years. I knew then that Dan was in his last days, but I couldn't imagine a world without him." He passed away yesterday after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Edgar, who began working with Storper in 1998 after being offered what he called the dream job no one could dare dream of, described the late visionary as an exceptional human, he wrote. Funny, energetic, passionate, micromanaging, and compulsive. A workaholic to the extreme. He could drive you crazy, but you loved him anyway, because his heart was in the right place. And he was a good soul. In 2023, the globe-trotting entrepreneur marked 30 years of his groundbreaking label. But Storper's journey with Putumayo began long before the label existed. Originally launched in the 1970s in New York as a store selling handcrafted goods and musical finds from his travels in Latin America, Africa, India, and beyond, the shop gradually shifted its focus to music. By 1993, it had transformed into Putumayo World Music, a record label dedicated to curating global sounds for a wider audience, co-founding it with Michael Krause. The label became an international success, celebrated for its uplifting and culturally diverse compilations. Jerry Connolly. Jerry Connolly dies at 75. U.S. Representative Gerald Jerry Connolly, an outspoken Democrat who sought key reforms in the federal government while bringing transformational development to his populous Virginia district, died Wednesday. He was 75. Connolly, who most recently held a prominent position as the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, served in Congress for more than 16 years. He died at home in the company of family members, his family said in a statement. Connolly announced in 2024 that he had esophageal cancer and said a few months later that he planned to retire from Congress. His death leaves House Republicans with a 220 to 212 majority. The spirited and at times bullheaded Fairfax Democrat became known for his voluble nature and willingness to engage in spirited debates. In one hearing, he accused Republicans of engaging in a witch hunt against the IRS, asking a witness if they ever read Arthur Miller's The Crucible. "I am heartbroken over the loss of my dear friend," said Democratic Senator Mark Warner of Virginia. "To me, he exemplified the very best of public service." He said Connolly met every challenge with tenacity and purpose, including his final battle with cancer, which he faced with courage, grace, and quiet dignity. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said Connolly was a, quote, hardworking, humble, and honorable public servant who used his perch on the Oversight Committee to push back against the unprecedented attacks on the federal workers in his district and across the country. A fixture of Virginia politics for 3 decades, Connolly was first elected to the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors in 1995. On the county board. George Coulomb. George Coulomb, dead at 87. George Coulomb, the founder of the popular Texas Renaissance Festival, has died. He was 87. The colorful King George was the subject of the HBO documentary series Ren Fair, which aired on the service last year. According to Grimes County Sheriff Donald Sowell, police received a 911 call early Wednesday from Coulomb's housekeeper, who found the festival pioneer dead in his bed. There's no cause of death determination as of yet. Coulomb founded the festival in 1974. The event is held for 6 weekends each fall in Todd Mission, Texas. The festival put out the following statement on Facebook following his death. "To our Texas Renaissance family and friends, we are deeply saddened by the loss of George Coulomb, founder of the Texas Renaissance Festival. For more than 50 years, he built a community that has become a cherished tradition for generations of performers, staff, and guests. At this time, we ask for respect and privacy for Mr. Coulomb's family and the extended Texas Renaissance Festival family as they grieve. As this is a deeply personal matter, we are not offering additional comments at this time." The HBO documentary chronicled Coulomb's struggle to hold onto his leadership position of the festival while considering prospective buyers. According to Houston station KHOU, a Grimes County judge recently ruled against Coulomb in an ownership dispute over the festival. A group of buyers claimed Coulomb backed out of a $60 million agreement to sell the festival and surrounding properties after accepting a down payment and closing costs. The judge had ordered Coulomb to continue forward with the sale. The station also had a statement from Merrill Rivard, president of Texas RF Inc. Randy Crowder. Randy Crowder dead at 72. Randy Crowder, a former Miami Dolphins and Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive lineman who missed an entire season following a drug conviction, has died, the Dolphins announced on May 21st. Crowder, who was 72, was Miami's 6th-round pick in the 1974 NFL Draft. His son, Channing, was drafted by the Dolphins in the 3rd round in 2005 out of Florida. They remain the only father-son duo drafted by Miami. Channing is currently a talk show host on WQAM 560. No cause of death was announced. Randy Crowder played 3 seasons for the Dolphins before his arrest, seeing action in 39 games, starting 25 and recording 12.5 sacks. He signed with the Bucs after he was released and played for them for 3 more seasons, including 1979, when they lost to the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC Championship game, falling 1 game short of the Super Bowl. After retiring from Tampa Bay, Crowder was hired as the defensive line coach at Penn State, his alma mater, where he coached for 2 seasons on Joe Paterno's staff. Crowder missed the 1977 NFL season after he and another former Dolphins player, Don Reese, were convicted and sentenced to 1 year in jail after being arrested for selling 1 pound of cocaine to an undercover policeman. They pleaded no contest, and Circuit Judge Joseph Durant withheld adjudication as part of a plea bargain agreement. Controversial former Tampa Bay Buccaneers star Randy Crowder has died at 72, with the announcement of his passing this week. Crowder was selected in the 6th round of the 1974 NFL Draft by the Miami Dolphins and played for that team for 2 years before moving on to Tampa Bay, where he played for 2 more seasons through 1980. No immediate cause of death was given for Crowder. Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay dies at 65. The longtime owner and CEO of the Indianapolis Colts, Jim Irsay, passed away peacefully in his sleep on May 21st at the age of 65. Irsay had led the NFL franchise since 1997, following in the footsteps of his father, Robert Irsay, who previously owned the team. The Colts announced his death in an official statement. expressing profound sorrow over the loss of their leader. "We are devastated to announce our beloved owner and CEO, Jim Irsay, passed away peacefully in his sleep this afternoon," said Colts Chief Operating Officer Pete Ward. Jim's dedication and passion for the Indianapolis Colts, his generosity, commitment to the community, and most importantly, his love for his family were unsurpassed, he added. Irsay is survived by his 3 daughters, Carly Irsay Gordon, Casey Foyt, and Kaylin Jackson, his ex-wife and the mother of his daughters, Meg Coyle, and 10 grandchildren. Carly Irsay Gordon, Irsay's eldest daughter, is widely considered a likely successor, having played a significant role in the team's operations for years. She previously stepped in for her father during his 2014 NFL suspension following a DWI arrest. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell also paid tribute, offering heartfelt condolences to the Irsay family. "We were deeply saddened to learn of Jim Irsay's passing today. Jim was a friend and a man deeply committed to his family, the game, the Colts, and the Indianapolis community," Goodell said. "He led with integrity, passion, and care for the Colts players, coaches, and staff. His courageous work in support of mental health will be a lasting legacy." On behalf of the entire NFL, the Colts have not disclosed an official cause of death. Kay Arthur. Kay Arthur dies at 91. Kay Arthur, a Christian author, Bible teacher, and co-founder of Precept Ministries International, has died at the age of 91. Precept announced Arthur's death on its social media pages, saying the beloved co-founder had died on Tuesday morning. "We are so grateful for Kay's gifts and her obedience to God's call on her life. Her heart for God's gospel is reflected in the mission of her ministry to this day, engaging people in relationship with God through knowing His Word," stated Precept. Join us as we thank God for the life of His daughter Kay and ask Him to comfort the family and friends she has left behind. She will be dearly missed, but we rejoice knowing that she is whole and made new in the presence of her Maker. Melissa Kruger, author and vice president of discipleship programming at the Gospel Coalition, gave her condolences in a piece in which she credited Arthur with teaching her how to properly study the Bible. Study after study, line by line, precept upon precept, Kay taught her readers God's Word. She reminded us that Scripture is the only plumb line of truth by which to measure our thoughts, words, and deeds, wrote Kruger. Through her studies, I learned to pay attention to repeated words, contrasts and comparisons, descriptive lists, locations, and genre, and I learned the importance of reading the text again and again before seeking to interpret and apply it. As she led me through the Scriptures, she reminded me daily of my identity in Christ, beloved. Born in 1933, Arthur was raised in a Christian family that moved around a lot. Shortly after graduating from nursing school, she married Frank Thomas Goots Jr., and the couple had 2 sons. George Wendt. George Wendt dead at 76. George Wendt, an American actor and comedian who earned 6 consecutive Emmy nominations for his performance as Norm Peterson on the beloved NBC comedy series Cheers, died Tuesday morning at his home. He was 76. When to death was confirmed by his publicist, Melissa Nathan, with the following statement. George was a doting family man, a well-loved friend and confidant to all of those lucky enough to have known him. He will be missed forever. The family has requested privacy during this time. A student of the Chicago improv landscape, Wendt was a comedian at the Second City in the 1970s before becoming a television actor. After numerous guest spots, he landed the role that would come define him, the loyal barfly Norm Peterson, whose regular first line of "Afternoon Everybody" became one of the fan-beloved motifs of the series. A standout among the cast, Wendt earned 6 Emmy nods in the supporting actor in a comedy series category through his tenure as a main cast member across the 11-season run of Cheers. He would go on to reprise the role in appearances on the short-lived spin-off The Tortellis and the long-running spin-off Frasier. After appearing in all 273 episodes of Cheers, Wendt jumped to CBS to lead his own sitcom titled The George Wendt Show, in which he played a radio host car mechanic. The series was quickly scrapped, running for just a month. Wendt's affinity for comedy made him a regular on Saturday Night Live through the 90s, drawing on his South Side roots to join Chris Farley, Mike Myers, and Robert Smigel in the recurring mustachioed Chicago superfans sketches. In one particularly odd bit of SNL lore, Wendt co-hosted a 1986 episode with director Francis Ford Coppola. Colton Ford. Colton Ford dies at 62. The adult film icon reportedly passed away on the 19th of May, with friends and contemporaries mourning his loss one day later, and many claiming that he died in a hiking accident, though his cause of death has not yet been confirmed. Ford started his adult entertainment career in 2001 at the age of 40, with credits including studio collaborations with Falcon Studios, Centurion, and more, alongside user-generated content later in his career. He received the Gay-VN Award for Gay Performer of the Year in 2003. Chi LaRue, a drag queen who also directs gay adult films, wrote on Facebook, the 20th of May, "I'm so shocked and saddened to hear and report the sudden passing of my friend and icon Glenn aka Colton Ford. You will missed. Keep singing in heaven." Fellow adult entertainment industry star Dallas Steele took to X to pay tribute to Ford, the 21st of May, writing, "It is with great sadness I share word of the passing of my friend Glenn, who you may have known as porn star and singer Colton Ford. Few details have been shared, but sources say he died from an accident on a hiking trail in Palm Springs. I met Glenn when he first moved to Palm Springs a few years ago. Though he retired from shooting commercial studio porn, I asked him to do an OnlyFans with me, and he agreed. We had a wonderful, hot, and meaningful experience together. He was a very deep, caring, thoughtful person. In 2022, Glenn performed at several of our charity pool parties. The crowd loved his vocals, engaging energy, and sex appeal. In 2023, Glenn asked if I'd appear with him in a series of mid-century modern-style gay erotic photos with him and a man way younger than both of us. It was a wonderful day with photographer Jay Jorgensen. Sadly, Jay took his own life a few months later. Tom Jones. Tom Jones has always been more than just a singer. He's been a voice that echoed through generations, a sound that lit up stages and hearts around the world. From the moment he first sang It's Not Unusual, the world knew it was witnessing something rare. That voice, full of soul and power, carried stories of love, pain, and life itself. But now, behind the music and away from the stage, a quieter and more difficult truth is unfolding. Tom's health is very poor, and those closest to him fear the risk of decline may soon grow more severe. For decades, he was unstoppable, a performer who gave everything, night after night, with a strength and passion few could rival. But time, as it always does, has changed the rhythm. The man who once commanded stadiums now faces long, quiet days. The energy that once electrified crowds is now reserved for moments of stillness and reflection. And yet, even in this vulnerable chapter, Tom's spirit shines. He has faced the challenges of aging with the same dignity he carried on stage. Though his voice may not soar as it once did, the depth of emotion remains. His legacy isn't just in the songs, it's in the connection he created, the memories he gave us, the comfort his music still brings. As his health continues to waver, the world leans in with gratitude and sorrow. Fans remember the joy he brought, the stories he told through melody, the strength he gave without even knowing. He gave the world everything he had, his voice, his soul, his heart. Now, we send all that love back to him. Quietly, reverently, we hold him in our thoughts, in our playlists, in the memories of concerts and car rides, and moments made better by his music. Thank you, Tom Jones. For the sound, for the strength, for the song that never truly ends.